a dream, but their yard's a nightmare.
I really need my hiking boots, to be honest with you, to get up here.
See which designer can turn gravel into green next on Landscaper's Challenge. Scott and Kathy Howe spent months creating their dream home on the Puget Sound, just outside the Emerald City, Seattle. Their arts and crafts style home sits on a beautiful street and looks out to Puget Sound and the majestic Olympic Mountains. Gorgeous interiors and stunning views provide inspiration and tranquility 24 hours a day. But after an 18-month remodel, the front yard looks more like a moonscape than an inviting entryway to their home. And it's not quite the garden Scott promised Kathy when they moved to the United States from her native Australia.
This big old American swept me off my feet, I guess. Took me out and wined and dined, and I was the Australian souvenir that he brought back.
Some people bring back postcards. I brought back a wife.
Yep.
So we moved to Seattle and we fell in love. I mean, there's so much to do here. We have 3 kids, Lauren, Kyle, and a 3-month-old son, Campbell. We want the kids to have a place to play.
And have the designers incorporate something that would work well for the children, for them to be involved in the garden there and to enjoy it.
Other than the remnants of an old fireplace, lots of gravel, and some overgrown shrubs, the yard is a blank slate.
One thing you'll notice about our yard is there is no grass anywhere, which makes it really fun for our son when it rains, and it makes it fun for me because I don't ever have to mow the lawn, but it's not quite the look we were after. I've always talked about being able to walk through the gate and enter a sanctuary, a really tranquil haven.
Yep.
And when the first thing that you see is a pile of dirt, that's not the haven that I really had in mind.
The yard is framed on one side by a fence and on the other by the garage. They don't know if it's in their budget to replace the fence, but they'd at least like it to fit better in the yard. Behind the garage is an area that's been completely forgotten.
So we're really after some other area that's sheltered to hold any toys down here that they can go and access, and also for me to access without going into the tool area.
Behind the garage is an area that's been completely forgotten. Kathy and Scott are hoping to turn it into a quiet sanctuary that they can retreat to.
We have our giant wood pile and just a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think probably anybody's been back in this section of the garden for 50 years.
Just behind the wood pile next to the house is another hazardous area.
This is the old patio. It's a real mess. Lots of loose bricks, a grill that's been here since I don't know when.
We need help in this part too. A lot of help, actually.
Although the Howes want a kid-friendly yard, they've decided they don't want to get the typical play set for their kids. But maybe there's another feature that might be even better.
We think that a fountain would really be a central spot for them all to play and have fun and mess around.
And this one says Lauren Howe.
And finally, Kathy and Scott want a memorable place for some meaningful stones.
These stones are really special to us because we get imprints of the children every year. We would love for that to be incorporated somewhere into the kids' play area. I think it would be really fun.
With a budget of $55,000 and a whole lot of gravel, Scott and Kathy are ready for a designer to create the perfect entryway to their home and a tranquil front yard where they can relax and their kids can play. First up is Kate Easton. Kate's an award-winning designer who also teaches landscape design and horticulture at a local college.
In Seattle, you'll find a combination of styles from Northwest Fusion to naturalistic with a Asian influence, but then there's everything in between too. There is no single design style. The first time I came to the house, I saw this rudimentary gravel path coming up to a restoration in process, and I could imagine what this yard would look like that would totally complement this renovated house. Right up here at the front, I have a concern about this tree root and not affect this beautiful maple here that the house would like to keep.
Next is landscape designer Daniel Lowry. Daniel's been landscaping for over 15 years. He's also a passionate painter, something he brings to his landscaping work.
Certainly besides a garden designer, I consider myself an artist, so I really cue into what the people hang on their walls and what the people consider art. There are many places for privacy in this garden, and I want to capitalize on that. But there's a view, a peekaboo view of this garden structure, and it's actually the neighbor's garage. And I think it's romantic enough that maybe the children will think it's a castle off in the distance, and I want to keep that view open to that.
Last up is designer and certified horticulturist Robin Haglund, who specializes in custom gardens and water features.
I believe that a yard is complete when it's not just a yard anymore, when it's been transformed into a garden. It's just that special little thing that the homeowner goes out and sees every day and says, that makes me happy in my garden. The house property is really amazing. When I first walked onto it, I was just struck by the big, open, basically blank space to work with for landscape design. And it just offers so many opportunities, and I really look forward to building a garden in this space.
All of our designers know that the Howes want a tranquil place to welcome them home. But which designer knows best how to give them what they've been dreaming of?
And imagine a water feature where your beach ball is.
Well, the kids can do anything they want right here.
I can see them from the kitchen window.
And then you'll have your 5-foot, 7-foot, and 9-foot column, which is really big.
Yeah.
This program brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, the quiet company.
Howe love their newly remodeled arts and crafts home and the lush